Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the University of Houston Victoria moves closer to joining the Texas A&M University system. Protesters flood the Texas Capitol opposing a school voucher bill, and visa revocations at the University of Houston sparked fear and uncertainty among international students.
We'll be taking a look at your Easter week forecast. Lots of folks traveling. You got to know that over the weekend could get a little stormy in parts of Texas. I'll have that forecast coming up.
And the Industrial Boys golf team looks to win back-to-back regional championships this week. Victoria highlights the boys golf team coming up in sport.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is on assignment. The University of Houston Victoria is one step closer to a potential move. This afternoon, the state Senate unanimously passed Senate Bill 2361, authored by State Senator Lois Kolkhorst, transferring UHV to the Texas A&M University system. Senator Kolkhorst said they are grateful for the University of Houston for its willingness to transfer the university to the A&M system. And Kolkhorst added A&M's agriculture and engineering degrees are highly desired in our area and will match up very well with the Crossroads industry. In a statement, John Sharp, Chancellor of the Texas A&M University system, said, quote, Senator Kolkhorst passed a piece of legislation in the Senate that we from Victoria have dreamed about for decades. Chancellor Sharp added, quote, the Texas A&M University system will turn Texas A&M Victoria into one of the premier campuses in Texas, unquote. Tuesday night, State Representative District 30 A.J. Louderback laid out the House's companion bill to Senator Kolkhorst to transfer UHV to the A&M system. Along with Louderback, speaking for the bill were Victoria Mayor Dwayne Crocker, Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller, and UHV President Bob Glenn. If the bill passes the legislature, then Governor Greg Abbott will sign it, and then the transfer will begin on June 1st, with the official transfer complete on September 1st. Protesters filled the halls of the Texas Capitol this morning. They were there to oppose a Republican school voucher bill that would allocate taxpayer money toward private education. Protesters said they want funding for public schools, not vouchers. The demonstration came before a Texas House vote on the bill, which would set up an education savings account program that critics say is a school voucher system. Well, the House passed the bill by a vote of 144 to 4. The bill would increase public school funding by $7.7 billion. The Victoria Central Appraisal District is holding a series of information sessions to help residents better understand property taxes and appraisals. These sessions walk you through how property values are assessed, how to file for exemptions, and what to expect from the appeals process. 2 sessions are happening today, one at 6 tonight with a final session next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Both will take place at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center on North Navarro. The 2025 appraisals are also available on the Appraisal District website. The City of Victoria is asking residents to start conserving water. Because of low rainfall upstream, the Guadalupe River is running lower than usual for this time of year. A 1998 water permit shows the city can only pump a limited amount from the river when levels drop. This week, officials started stage 1 of the drought plan, which means voluntary water conservation. That includes watering your lawn just once a week, switching to water-efficient appliances, and signing up for the city's free WaterWise service to track your usage and spot leaks early. So with all that in mind, let's go to Mac Pettis with the first look at the forecast. And you've got to really not be surprised in a way, Mac, because we haven't had a lot of rain, say, in the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Don. I mean, we've talked about it here. You know, it was nice to get that one big rain that we had a couple of weeks ago, but we need something a little bit more consistent, and we also need it in the watershed of the rivers, or the head of the rivers, so that it rolls down. For the weekend, though, and I know it's Easter Sunday, we do have a chance of a few showers around here on Sunday, and we'll be talking about it coming up. I don't want you to worry, but we'll have all those details coming up in a moment. Don, back to you.
Thank you, Mac. The Dallas County Sheriff's Office identified the suspect in yesterday's shooting at a Dallas area high school. The suspect was identified as 17-year-old Tracy Denard Haynes, Jr. Haynes surrendered to police hours after the shooting at Wilmer Hutchins High School. An arrest affidavit shows an unidentified student let Haynes into the school through an unsecured door. And Haynes then walked down the hall and started firing, hitting 5 students. Haynes is being held at the Dallas County Jail on a $600,000 bond. Texas House okays a bill that gives schools more latitude to discipline students. A last-minute amendment would require students to go to alternative education settings if they attack a teacher or make terroristic threats. To read the full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. A math professor at the University of Houston main campus had his visa terminated and will now have to go back to his home country. This comes as some international students have also had their visas revoked.
You're here on a legal status, but you're still in fear.
I talk about Islam on campus to people, and even this is becoming scary for me because I'm like, what if someone misassociates this with me supporting something that I'm not supposed to support? Yeah, I myself am also afraid just by being a permanent resident.
University of Houston senior, who we are calling Ahmad, didn't want his face on camera out of fear. Knowing more than 300 student visas were revoked across the country in recent weeks, some due to pro-Palestinian activism, Ahmad is concerned his religion could impact his path to naturalization.
The tension's really grown, especially in the Muslim community on campus. And international students, they've been told to lay low and not go to any protests or anything.
A U of H spokesperson tells us visas for a small number of international students have been revoked, and now a math professor because of his status as a doctoral student in another institution. If his visa only permitted him to work in the country, would be a violation. Houston immigration attorney Jared Slater says students who've come to him with revoked visas had minor citations or infractions on their record, such as a traffic ticket and having a fake ID.
Everybody makes mistakes, and you can't say that, necessarily somebody who has an expired license is a criminal danger to society. Traditionally, it was if the government discovered some type of misrepresentation in their application, or if they had been convicted of certain criminal offenses.
There are 146 international professors at U of H, according to the university, and nearly 10% of students are international. Ahmad tells me he believes more visa revocations could impact the university's quality of education.
Because of their visas, they might have to go back home, or they might just leave because of the fear of being persecuted by the government.
Job seekers and employers came together at the annual Spring Career Fair hosted by Workforce Solutions, UHV, and Victoria College. There were more than 40 employers there looking for new talent to their team. Adding new talent to their team. A Victoria College Career Services Coordinator Blake Britton says the job fair gives people a chance to speak with employers and learn more about the opportunities. Britton says the job fair is diversified, so there are jobs for all backgrounds.
I always advise students and job seekers to just be curious. Everybody here is very friendly. They're here with the purpose of talking to the people that show up. So just be curious, ask questions, go up to all the booths, even if it's an employer that you maybe haven't heard of.
Job seekers were also able to get on-the-spot resume help and network with local industry leaders. As we head into severe weather and hurricane season, Texans can save some money while getting prepared. Starting at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, April 26th, and running through midnight Monday, April 28th, the state's emergency preparation sales tax holiday is back. That means no sales tax on things like flashlights, batteries, fuel containers, even portable generators under $3,000. There's no limit on how many items you can buy, but keep an eye on shipping fees if you're ordering online, since that can affect whether it qualifies. A full list of what's covered is on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And this brings us to our viewer poll tonight. Are you planning to take advantage of the emergency preparation sales tax holiday next week? The choices are yes, I plan to stock up on essentials, or no, I don't need anything right now, or C, I'm not sure yet. Well, just over half, 52% of our voters say They're not sure yet, but you still have time to think about what you want to get on that emergency preparation sales tax holiday. Hey, we want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have the latest results at 10. Here are some of the headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Calhoun County Commissioners support a resolution to save Keller Bay. And the Calhoun County ISD Board hears its annual academic report. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 Views now at 6. The Trump administration faces a legal showdown after a judge says it defied a court order by deporting migrants to El Salvador. Also ahead, the big comeback of Big Lots stores continues. Find out where those stores are reopening after the break.
A zebra sanctuary in Bloomington? A nonprofit promising beautification. But where's the money really going?
What does that be? What is zebras got to be beneficial for?
Our 7-month investigation uncovers a tangled web of nonprofits, LLCs, and real estate deals, leading to allegations of bribery, document falsification, and intimidation. A town at a crossroads, a fight for transparency. Don't miss Money, Power, and Incorporation. A 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
A third Pentagon appointee was placed on administrative leave during an ongoing investigation. Today, Colin Carroll, the Chief of Staff of Deputy Secretary of Defense Steve Feinberg, was placed on administrative leave. He's the third known official to be placed on leave this week. A defense source says there is a purge of people who had disagreements with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's Chief of Staff. A federal judge says there is probable cause the Trump administration acted in contempt of court with those flights carrying migrants to El Salvador last month. The judge says the government demonstrated willful disregard for his order to turn the planes around.
A federal judge says he found probable cause the Trump administration acted in contempt of court last month when officials did not turn around 2 planes flying migrants to El Salvador. Judge James Boasberg writes, the Constitution does not tolerate willful disobedience of judicial orders, especially by officials of a coordinate branch who have sworn an oath to uphold it. He says the way to purge his potential finding of contempt would be to obey his initial order. And if that does not happen, he says it could lead to live witness testimony under oath.
It sounds like the judge wants to find out who would be the person that would be potentially put in prison.
On one of those migrant flights, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a man the Supreme Court says was removed illegally from Maryland.
Hard stop. He should not be in our country.
The Trump administration accuses Abrego Garcia of being a member of the gang MS-13, but no evidence has been shown in court of that being true. A federal judge in that case is now giving the Trump administration 2 weeks to hand over information on what it has or has not done to comply with the Supreme Court's unanimous decision to facilitate his release. President Trump telling Fox Noticias he does not have the power to bring Abrego Garcia back.
And he's from El Salvador, so that's a decision up to El Salvador.
And El Salvador's president says neither does he.
I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
Questions remain over who actually does, amid the finger-pointing of responsibility.
He is not coming back to our country. President Bukele said he was not sending him back. That's the end of the story.
Democratic Senator from Maryland Chris Van Hollen is in El Salvador to try and visit Abrego Garcia. He says he will do everything possible to bring him back. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The new owner of over 200 Big Lots locations is continuing to reopen stores that were closed last year, including one in Victoria. Next month, 54 more locations across 12 states will join the 9 that welcomed customers once again earlier this month. The rest of the locations will be opened in waves in the lead up to a grand opening celebration at all the stores with the familiar orange and black sign this fall. No reopenings in Texas so far. And student authors write of cattle drives. That's one of the headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. Also, the Chisholm Trail Heritage Museum celebrated the top Hunt Elementary student writers. And a Yorktown church hires its first new pastor in 20 years. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're looking at 80 degrees right now. The winds have picked up just like we promised you. They're sustained at 20 miles an hour, but they're going to be gusting overnight and again tomorrow up to 30 miles an hour, so it'll be rather breezy. Our high today was 84 and our morning low at 58. We'll be taking a look at your weather for the rest of the Easter week. Some of you are on break, some of you are not, but everybody wants to know what's happening on Easter Sunday. We'll have that forecast coming up. Well, it's a big week for everybody because some people are off, some people are traveling, and everybody wants to be outdoors and enjoying the weekend here. We're taking a look at the big picture because while we just have a few clouds rolling around Texas today, what I'm still looking at is right about here. This is the broad area of low pressure in the upper atmosphere. I have to describe it. That is going to be triggering some big weather over Texas by the time we get to the weekend. But in the meantime, we're going to be dealing with strong southerly winds. They'll be out of the southeast. Today they were peaking out at about 22 miles an hour. Tomorrow they're probably getting up to about 35 miles an hour. So it'll be rather blustery for the next 2 days as that storm starts moving out of the southwest. Now this is basically an area where there's a cold pocket of air and it's rising air, so whatever rolls into that, which is going to be our air, is going to become some sort of stormy weather. This low will be tracking across Arizona and it will be clipping North Texas. It'll be clipping the panhandle. That's why, as you can see right here, there's that cold pocket. And there's the rising air right about here. You can see how that is going to be moving very close to the panhandle right there. And that's when big weather will begin in North Texas. So you, if you happen to be traveling northbound anywhere, Dallas, Abilene, Lubbock, you may have to deal with that over the weekend. As far as we're concerned, after we get through Sunday, Monday, it sort of pulls away. But in the meantime, a lot of people are concerned. Now here we go on Friday. This is Friday, okay, day 3. You can see how the storms do begin to fire up in North Texas. Some storms even getting down into the hill country. What about us? Well, on Saturday, the tail end of that drifts through our region, and that's why we think we may have some showers around here. Now let's take a look long term. This is the future tracker. There's the cloud cover that we expect tomorrow. We expect it to be windy, humid, and mostly cloudy. And then we get into Saturday, and you can see how the storms begin to fire up in North Texas, and there's a storm coming out of the southwest. As we go into Sunday, well, there it is, folks. Stormy weather, Texarkana down to near Austin, and then some showers out west. And then Sunday night, which is what I want you to know, it's Sunday night, it drifts through here, and then Monday, it's pretty much gone. So I don't want you to worry. Most of your Sunday will be good. I think we'll see a few pop-up showers late in the afternoon and evening. If you got Sunday morning service, no problem there at all. Through middle of the day, no problem there. And at night is when that thing drifts through our region, and that's why I expect that we'll have some sort of shower activity possible. I wish I could tell you there was going to be a beautiful big rainstorm, but it's not. Just a little pop-up shower activity as that tail end of that front moves through. So mostly cloudy tomorrow, humid and windy in the afternoon hours. You'll be looking at some rather blustery conditions. In Cuero, you're getting up to about 84, and also winds. These are the sustained winds. And then, of course, the gusts come up to 10 miles an hour over that. So 7-day forecast. On the breezy side, breezy again. Saturday, still breezy. Very slight chance of anything popping. It's Sunday night into Monday when I think we have the greatest chance for getting some shower activity here, but your temperatures will stay in the mid-80s all the way through. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody. We do have this QR code. If you take a picture with your phone, you can put Crossroads Today on your phone. Don, back to you.
All right, and Crossroads Today is inviting you to join in and celebrate Earth Day by showing off your doodles. Show us what Earth Day means to you. We'll share your Earth Day doodles on our social media and feature one doodle per day on Sunrise. Submissions are open now through April 25th. Just come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Just minutes ago, I saw our sports director, Max Williams, practicing his golf swing. Is this a hint for his lead story? Tell us, Max.
Oh, absolutely, Don, because guess what? The past 2 days have been busy covering golf regionals here at Victoria Country Club and the Club of Colony Creek. So I didn't want to forget also to talk about that and other things coming up in sports. All right, Krause. So yesterday we had the last day of the girls golf regionals where, again, we had an Industrial women's team that actually made it to state. I mentioned that they didn't there yesterday. Well, they did after they won a one-hole playoff versus Hondo there. And so they will be heading to Austin in a few weeks. But now for the Industrial boys team, can they do the same? Because last year the boys team, they made it all the way to state, and they're looking to go back again these next 2 days, see if they can do it there in the 3A regionals at Victoria Country Club. And two of the stars, in Miles Malik and Logan Thomas, talk about the expectations they have heading into these 2 days and what it would mean for both of them going to state.
It feels great, you know. First year, and we're already at regionals, so we're looking to go to state. Great, you know. We're going to Jimmy Clay, so nice course.
Great feeling. I mean, being able to move on to that final round it's a pretty good feeling, especially moving on with the team, a bunch of my friends. Just making sure once we get there we stay focused, have a little fun, but at the end of the day, there's only one expectation.
Well, that expectation that Thomas is referring to is, again, going to state. And again, currently right now after day one stands, Industrial leads the entire field with the team overall score of 324. And the second place team behind them is Goliad there, which actually we'll highlight them in our 10 p.m. newscast. We'll hear from some of the Goliad golfers and what they expect too this weekend. Now, what about, I've been talking about 3A, right? We can't forget about 4A as well there at Colony Creek Golf Course. Well, we had 3 local teams today in Cuero, El Campo, and Calhoun, all competing there in the 4A Golf Regionals for the boys. And first, with the team scores, Cuero is tied in 7th place with Divine High School at 325 total points. El Campo is right behind Cuero at 327, and Calhoun has 344, and some individual standouts with Cuero freshman Waylon Dietz, who is tied currently in 14th place overall as a first-round score of 74. And again, more and more coverage of these 2 tournaments, and also shout out to Josiah Campos as well. He's got an 80 overall there for Calhoun. So again, we'll get these coverage there. If you want to get more of it though, go to the Texas High School Golf app, which again, you can get off the Apple Store, and all the other information as well if you want to get all the scores and updates there later on. And then finally tonight, we had a big, actually, pardon me, before we get there, for a big milestone yesterday, Victoria East head baseball coach Wes Coley getting 300 career wins with their win last night there versus Lamar Consolidated. And Coley has been a huge asset there for the Titans, has led them currently right now in a 24-4 overall record and 8-1 in district play. Again, they're tied right now with West High School, and again, it's all a great accomplishment there for Wes Coley, and well deserved. Again, I've had a deep personal connection with Wes Coley. He's one of the people that's kind of helped me get used to the area here in Victoria, and again, what an honor for him, and I can't wait to see what the guys do the rest of the regular season and going into the playoffs. And then now finally tonight, again, enough of the golf action, enough of baseball action, right? We're moving on now to NASCAR. Yes, because we're going to rev those engines as Texas A&M University is partnering with the Haas factory team to build their NTT IndyCar Series debut with the favorite driver Felix Renquist, is that the name right, for the 2025 season. The university is wanting to bring more fan interactions and involvement for the university in the future. And the Texas A&M Vice President and Chief Marketing Communications Officer Ethan Braden said these partnerships with, again, Felix Renquist will bring the Aggie core values of intelligence, excellence, leadership, loyalty, and respect and selfless service to the national stage in front of one of the most passionate patriotic values aligned audiences in America. Congrats, Texas A&M, and can't wait to see that those cars going out there on the racetrack soon. That's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Wow, Max, A&M on NASCAR now and IndyCar. They're going to have to change it to Aggies Start Your Engine. All right, Max, thanks, and we're back in a moment. Some guys went out fishing last week in Galveston, and you won't believe what happened. Finally tonight, David Esslinger, a fisherman from Port Arthur, caught an 884-pound bluefin tuna last Thursday, surpassing an 876-pound catch in 2021 for a new state record. Esslinger and his team took 5 hours to finally reel the massive fish to the boat. The bluefin tuna is a trophy fish that's deeply respected by anglers for its huge size and high-quality meat that can be sold up to $40 per pound locally.
I mean, yeah.
Man,
But
yeah.
800 pounds. That is
884 pounds.
My fishing report there tomorrow talking about that.
Yeah, but if somebody around here catches one on Port O'Connor or different places, yes,
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
send those pictures. Send those pictures to Max.
And I bet this weekend a lot of people going to go try and match that record.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure, absolutely.
So for all you weekend warriors, things are looking pretty good. For us, rather breezy for the next 2 or 3 days. Then on Saturday, it does slow down a bit in the wind. And then on Sunday, we do have a chance of some isolated afternoon and evening showers. Not to worry, most of it will be late in the afternoon and evening into Monday morning, and then it's gone.
All right. Here today, gone tomorrow. Thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.